let these people go, and I'll take their place. I'm going to take your silence to mean that you're considering my offer.
We've had an attack. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
John, just heads up. That door's open over there. There's somebody walking around in that greenhouse. Just a heads up. It looked like he was looking out.
Hey, someone.
He goes right there.
Somebody in there. Death Row. You got everyone accounted for? Good ahead, John.
their shoulders, bend the law, shred the Constitution just a little bit. We do that, and everything that we have bled and fought and died for is over.
Don't you ever again question my command, is that clear?
I'm not under your command, General.
Take a look around, tell me if you really think that's true.
Jesus Christ. Holy shit.
Portable crew. I'm not with a truck. I'm by myself. Portable. I have Keith Lane and Jack Kelly here too. Here with me too.
I'm a couple of blocks up on the West Side Highway.
We're like wait a block away.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a no special, but I want a minute 30 package, photos, no VO. Oh, by the way, camera did put that. No, that ain't fine.
Don't do it, David. Just suck it in.
And I think you should stay where you are.
Corporal, you on the air?
The world. Sounds great, General. Except why can't we find out who's behind it?
It seems to me, gentlemen, that conventional law enforcement just isn't up to the task.
How about who's behind this?
Libya, Iran, Iraq, possibly Syria.
Ask a question, get an atlas.
All I know is that we must respond.
Well, that's an excellent idea, Senator. How do we do that?
Find out who they are and bomb the shit out of them.
And if we can't find out?
Look, I hate to be the voice of doom, but it keeps escalating. First a bus, then a theater. What's next?
Well, how about sending in the National Guard?
The National Guard is for riot control, Senator, not for counterterrorism.
The Army, then. I've read the contingency plans.
It's established legal doctrine, posse comitatus, that the Army may not be turned against our own people.
Even if that's what our own people are asking for, 3 to 1?
If the president's willing to declare a state of
President
emergency...
Lincoln declared martial law in 1862. He suspended habeas corpus.
Which the Supreme Court later found unconstitutional. Ex parte Milligan.
And I've got an election in November, ex-United States Congressman.
Let's save the clips for the Sunday morning talk shows. The president's plane lands in 2 hours, and we owe it to him to have a consensus.
You don't fight a junkyard dog with ASPCA rules. What you do is you take the leash off your own bigger, meaner dog.
General?
The Army's a broadsword, not a scalpel. Trust me, Senator, you do not want the Army in an American city.
But hypothetically, how long would it take you to deploy?
You know we can't go in until the President invokes the War Powers Act, Steve.
Well, I understand that, General. Let's assume for a moment that the order has been given.
12 hours after the President gives the order, we can be on the ground. 1 light infantry division of 10,700 men. Elements of the Rapid Deployment Force, Special Forces, Delta, APCs, helicopters, tanks, and of course the ubiquitous M16A1 assault rifle. A humble enough weapon until you see it in the hands of a man outside your local bowling alley or 7-Eleven. It will be noisy, it will be scary, and it will not be mistaken for a VFW parade.
I remind you, General Devereaux does not speak for official Army policy. A police function has become accepted as our role in Haiti and Somalia.
Make no mistake. We will hunt down the enemy, we will find the enemy, and we will kill the enemy. And no card-carrying member of the ACLU is more dead set against it than I am. Which is why I urge you, I implore you, do not consider this as an option.
Mr. President, you're welcome, Mr. President.
leaders of the G7 group of industrialized nations sit down to dinner on the eve of this year's summit at the EU headquarters in Brussels. On the eve of a hastily arranged summit of the G7 summit in Brussels, the leaders of the G7 group of industrialized nations warned last night that they stood ready to impose damaging economic sanctions on Russia on top of the asset freezes and travel bans already in place. We are united in condemning the Russian Federation's continuing violation of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine, they said in a joint communiqué.
Good afternoon, everybody. Earlier today, I was briefed by my Homeland Security team on the events in Boston. We're continuing to monitor and respond to the situation as it unfolds, and I've directed the full resources of the federal government to help state and local authorities protect our people, increase security around the United States as necessary, and investigate what happened. The American people will say a prayer for Boston tonight, and Michelle and I send our deepest thoughts and prayers to the families of the victims in the wake of this senseless loss. We don't yet have all the answers, but we do know that multiple people have been wounded, some gravely, in explosions at the Boston Marathon. I've spoken to FBI Director Mueller and Secretary of Homeland Security Napolitano, and they're mobilizing the appropriate resources to investigate and to respond. I've updated leaders of Congress in both parties, and we reaffirm that on days like this there are no Republicans or Democrats. We are Americans, united in concern for our fellow citizens. I've also spoken with Governor Patrick and Mayor Menino and made it clear that they have every single federal resource necessary to care for the victims and counsel the families. And above all, I made clear to them that all Americans stand with the people of Boston. Boston police, firefighters, and first responders, as well as the National Guard, responded heroically and continue to do so as we speak. It's a reminder that so many Americans serve and sacrifice on our behalf every single day, without regard to their own safety, in dangerous and difficult circumstances. And we salute all those who assisted in responding so quickly and professionally to this tragedy. We still do not know who did this or why, and people shouldn't jump to conclusions before we have all the facts. But make no mistake, we will get to the bottom of this, and we will find out who did this. We'll find out why they did this. Any responsible individuals, any responsible groups will feel the full weight of justice. Today is a holiday in Massachusetts, Patriots' Day. It's a day that celebrates the free and fiercely independent spirit that this great American city of Boston has reflected from the earliest days of our nation. And it's a day that draws the world to Boston's streets in a spirit of friendly competition. Boston is a tough and resilient town, so are its people. I'm supremely confident that Bostonians will pull together, take care of each other, and move forward as one proud city, and as they do, the American people will be with them every single step of the way. You should anticipate that as we get more information, our teams will provide you briefings. We're still in the investigation stage at this point, but I just want to reiterate, we will find out who did this, and we will hold them accountable. Thank you very much.
Hello, America. It is my unhappy duty to report to you that the Messiah has failed. This computer-enhanced radar image from Houston shows how the detonation succeeded, however, did not destroy the comet. There are now two pieces, one 6 miles wide, the other 1.5 miles. Both are still on the path towards Earth. We've lost communication with the Messiah spacecraft, although we continue to track it visually. We don't know how many are alive. We don't know their condition. Now we have to make some decisions together. What do we do? You have a choice. We have a choice. Right now. Ever since the comet was discovered, we've been hoping and working for the best. But we've also been planning for the worst. Our strategy has been twofold. First, Our Strategic Missile Command is preparing to coordinate with the Russians a massive strike of Titan missiles to intercept the comets. If we can deflect these comets enough, they will bounce harmlessly off our atmosphere and head on out into space. Unfortunately, the Titans cannot be launched until the comets are only a few hours away. And while we are confident the missile attack will succeed, it is only prudent that we now take cautionary steps to ensure the continuation of our way of life, to guarantee that there will be enough of us left to rebuild a new world in the unlikely event that the comets do strike the Earth. So, in the soft limestone of Missouri, we've been preparing a network of immense caves, and they're almost finished. And we can put 1 million people in them. And that 1 million people can survive there underground for 2 years until the air clears and the dust settles. And the cave is more than a dormitory. It's our new Noah's Ark. We're storing seeds and seedlings, plants, animals, enough to start over. On August 10th, a computer will randomly select 800,000 Americans to join the 200,000 scientists, doctors, engineers, teachers, soldiers, and artists who have already been chosen. Other countries are preparing similar caves along whatever lines they feel are best to preserve their way of life. This is ours. Beginning tonight and continuing until the crisis passes, I am declaring a state of martial law. The armed forces and the National Guard are working with local law enforcement. A national curfew begins at midnight tonight. Now, wherever you are, go home. Stay off the roads after sunset. Crimes against persons or property will be dealt with swiftly and harshly. News stations around the nation are being faxed copies of the lottery procedure as we speak, and they'll be broadcasting the details to you in a few moments. I wish... No. Wishing is wrong. It's the wrong word right now. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, I believe in God. I know a lot of you don't, but I still want to offer a prayer for our survival. Mine included. Because I believe that God, whomever you hold that to be, hears all prayers, even if sometimes the answer is no. So may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord lift up his divine countenance upon you and give you peace.